This is not a gift that can be held by hands. This is not a physical gift. It is a metaphysical gift. It is one where I still have it, and you will have it. And you can give it to the friends that you love, the people you care about. It's a gift that multiplies. It's a gift that everybody wins. And this gift is a sort of a technique or a psychotechnology to improve your well-being. It uses principle of hypnosis, in particular hypnotherapy, applied in a way that will heal your mind with the minimum amount of effort. So this is the strategy. This is how you go about it. You try to get your brain state into a state of trance. You can do it using binaural beats or isochronic tone, or take some deep breaths and then count to 10. Imagine yourself going down a step. And when you feel completely relaxed, start to work on your body. Relax all the muscles on your body. And the way you can do this is through visualization. So you picture some parts of your body being tense, maybe being constricted in some sense, or like inflated. You imagine your body as like inflated, and then some part deflates. This is one way you can imagine it. Another way is to just feel it's getting heavier. So then you have to relax. It's whatever works for you. What you imagine and give sort of an interface between your conscious, which is logical, and your subconscious, which is kind of storytelling based. If you give a medium in between, something that's kind of plausible for your conscious mind to believe that it can happen, and something that your subconscious can really understand as sort of in the realm of emotion, is how you translate from logic to emotion pretty much. And when you do this work to fully relax your body, then your mind is in its lowest and most suggestible state, kind of theta or lower delta. And this is kind of like when you can rewrite your deepest emotions, sensations or ideas or fears or whatever. And so what you do is imagine that you're chasing ghosts. Imagine your pain, your sufferings, your sadness as ghosts. Because that's kind of what they are. They're like memories that don't want to leave you. Normally, if you have fear, you just experience the fear when you are confronted to those events. But it gets recorded in your subconscious mind and played back continuously to sort of avoid the situation again. So it's kind of like a memory that keeps going on. It's actually trying to protect you, but you no longer need it. So what you do is imagine that you grab this ghost and put it in a bottle. You're kind of like a ghostbuster. And first you go and find that particular emotion. Give it a name, give it an identity. It could be something you made up, or something you can say, okay, it's sadness when I was in this particular situation. Or it's just a bit of disgust. Or you just grunt, or give it a sound. Something that gives it an identity. Otherwise it's like it doesn't exist in your conscious mind. Then imagine that this bottle is amplified, and then you see on the screen the story, the narrative, or what it is. Maybe it's like a parasite, or maybe you consider it's like a spider. And then this all happen on the screen, so you're safe. there is a dial on the right side of the screen, and you raise your hand physically, and you move your hand physically while, eyes closed in state of hypnosis, to signify that you are putting an effort into this. So your body will want to rationalize why you do so much effort. Because if it's for nothing, it doesn't make sense. Like, why would the body do such a thing? But because you give it the meaning that this dial is to make things better. Whatever you see on the screen, it makes it better. So if you think that, okay, maybe it's a fear and you just cannot handle it, then you kill it. So it's like maybe the fear is a spider, you burn it, the spider gets burned. But you don't have to be that violent. You can find that one of your demons is actually quite cool. And so you make it better and you realize, oh, actually he's the coolest guy in the world. How you haven't seen that? In movies where the bad guy is actually turns to become the good one. And so by time you turn all your demons on your side, you make friends with them because, okay, you listen to them, you heard the story, but now you make it better. And whatever it does, you don't even need to worry how he makes it better. Don't focus on the detail, it just makes it better. So you keep turning the dial again and again and again and again. Eventually, you'll feel better. And at some point, you might even forget which memory you were dealing with in the first place. Because it's almost like either it's gone or it's fixed. It's magical. And that's the power of imagination. You see, that's what we mean by magic. It's just imagination that has repercussion in reality. And this is a process of a transformation. It sounds very simple, but do this every day. Do this for a while, and eventually implant some new belief in your mind that you scan automatically for it. Because your mind, your subconscious mind, will realize the patterns. Imagine your subconscious mind has its own identity, and give it a name. Mine name is Leo, and it's kind of like a lion. It's very wild. But by giving my subconscious an identity, I can communicate with it, because I realize, the conscious me and the subconscious, we're kind of different. We don't speak the same language. We are not the same species almost. We're very different in nature. So somehow we have to find a way that we can communicate with one another. But for him, it's like the realm of emotion. And whatever emotion he's feeling, I'm feeling. But I need to, you could say, tame the beast that doesn't want to be tamed. And so he has needs and wants that I need to help him with. And by having a collaboration like this, eventually you could say you make peace with yourself. Because you have this inner self that's kind of less conflicted, and finally you stop analyzing and judging and trying to maintain control over your identity. And I think that's one of the problems of our neurosis, is like we're so tied up into our own sense of self, or identity, or ego, that we don't realize that we've got a powerful ally inside that wants to help. But you have to have the humility to recognize that you're not the whole thing. You're just like let's say a simulation living in a body, that you're not as much as you think you are, and that's okay. And this realization actually allows you to fully understand your place and the real unfolding of life, that then you are able to seize your full power. But until then, you have to have this humility. And that's how it works. That's why the work of the mystic is to be humble and to be honest. Because both goes together. To be fully honest, you will have to be humble, because you will have to tell things to other people that maybe you feel ashamed of. That's part of it, you know? And not all of us are willing to do this. If you want to do this work of getting better, it's a work of humility. Narcissists cannot get better because they don't think they have a problem. So you have to be able to recognize your problem and say, yes, I still have a problem. Yes, there is another one. And it goes on and on. It will almost never end. But eventually you keep doing the process. Eventually you're gonna win. You do more and more of it. Realize that you still have problems, and that's good when you find one, because then you can solve it. And that's why, you know, the most important in medicine is having the right diagnosis. I mean, that's all that doctors do. They give you a diagnosis, and then we know for the right diagnosis what's the solution. Sometimes, you know, you take this medicine or that. The most difficult is not knowing how to cure something. It's really to find what the problem is to begin with. And then your job is almost to be a doctor of yourself, is to diagnose yourself. What is going on? And follow your body. So you could say the mind lie, the brain. The ideas, the thought lie, but your body never lies. Eventually you stumble upon a negative emotion, feeling, or whatever. You need to feel it in your body. Feel where it is. It could be in your lungs, it could be, I don't know, in your butt, it could be in your legs, in your jaw, it could be in your upper back. It is somewhere physical. And just identify it. Give it a name, something, and then make it better. And you keep doing that, you will see that your body will feel better, your mind will feel better. You will be transformed. It's a tool for transformation. I know it sounds silly, I know it sounds stupid, but you have very little to lose. Give it like 20 minutes. What if it worked? And, you know, I would love to hear some good news from it. Have a good day.